In the northern latitudes of Europe, there is a peninsula that is mostly at sea level, with a giant Matterhorn-looking mountain at the border. For hundreds of years, the mountain has been blasted away, and the remnants of this mountain has been used to build a seawall to protect the low-lying urban areas of the country. Jonas is a mid-20s guy that works on the seawall. We start this story by seeing large 20-foot boulders being blasted off the mountain and herded down a man-made channel to fill the seawall barrier. Think of the first level of Mario 64 with the boulders and a reverse camera chase scene from Crash 1 with giant boulders. Once he gets off work, Jonas joins his family in the mid-afternoon near the base of the mountain. They are all having a feast together when they get interrupted by military planes flying overhead, which is unusual for their small community. The lights start to vary and dim wildly, and Jonas seems the most worried. He starts saying he thinks it might be an EMP. Jonas's father confronts him in private, telling him that he shouldn't guess on stuff he doesn't know about and scare people with wild ideas that he knows nothing about. This moment isn't actually negative, but transformative, and Jonas then has an idea to check to see if it was possibly his father's milling equipment or maybe some weird power surge. Jonas goes and visits his father's small workshed a little outside the village and is surprised the equipment is actually running on its own. Suspicious, he shuts it all down, but it just makes for more questions and no answers. Jonas decides he needs to find out what the military is up to. That night, Jonas, looking for more answers, sneaks onto the local military airfield that is almost vacant except for a few guards. He starts exploring when, all of a sudden, he feels water on his feet. There is flooding. No alarms are going off, which would be the case if it's the seawall, so he heads for higher ground in the building for a better vantage point. Near the third story of the building, the water rapidly escalates and soon is nearly 40 feet deep. Still no alarms. Jonas sees a baby sheep that got swept in and stuck in the hangar below. He is actually able to rescue it and climb to the roof to temporary safety. The power goes out and all goes dark. The military is gone, the water is quickly rising, and Jonas is left holding this little sheep at the top of a building. When all hope is lost, something magical happens. Time starts flowing in reverse. Jonas is aware and in awe as he is taken backwards, back in time to the moment where he had been in the shed. Standing there was his uncle. Jonas, stunned, couldn't speak a word. "Never touch this again, Jonas," delivered sternly by his uncle as the door shuts and the shed disappears out of sight. This loop of time would happen repeatedly before Jonas could find out what was happening to his home. But that's for another story.